Dear viewers, in this video I would like to introduce you to the 3-volume work In the Light of Truth. A few words from the preface point the reader to a unique path.
Genuine faith lies only in conviction, and conviction comes solely through an inflexible weighing and examining.
Most books about life and faith questions suggest viewpoints to the reader, which he is expected to believe without examination. But this type of sometimes blind faith does not bring true progress. Only consideration and examination, even with the religious spiritual area, brings inner benefit. Natural science utilizes the path of examination and consideration. To believe in something, no matter who said it, without having examined it, is rejected by science in principle. Only this way the detailed understanding of material processes of today's time could develop. Unfortunately, however, science is limited to the purely materially measurable area, although there are so many clear indications of a world beyond the 5 senses. The unique thing about the work In the Light of Truth is the encouragement to think, consider, and examine material and non-material processes. This allows us to be closer to the full truth and to broaden our worldview. I provide examples of how we are able to convince ourselves of the truth in my video, We Can Recognize Truth. The 3-volume work In the Light of Truth contains 168 lectures, all of which address the spiritual interrelationships of human life. A glance at the table of contents of the first volume illustrates how comprehensive the explanations in the various lectures are. Awake. It demonstrates how we are stimulated to awaken the spirit through suffering and joy in life. Ascent. We are encouraged to begin our inner ascent through continued goodwill. The first step, the desire, has to become action. It is through thoughts, words, and deeds that we can change our daily lives. What separates so many from the light today? The current lowly inner alignment of people on earth is ruthlessly revealed, revealing the path back to the light. Errors. The widespread perspective is cautioned against, namely that our innermost core is divine. Don't the conditions on earth created by our deeds clearly call this into question? The human word. Our words are partly responsible for our external destiny on earth. The indolence of the spirit. This is our biggest problem today. For the most part, we are inwardly too sluggish to put goodwill into action. We must do this not only from time to time, but continuously, so that in time our nature and our character will be ennobled. The lectures are based on each other, whereby the explanations expand continuously. For this reason, I strongly recommend those who are reading the book for the first time to start with the first volume and read the lectures in order first. The lectures in the second volume cover a wide variety of topics such as we bear responsibility for our actions, as they help determine our fate. For what a man sows, that he will reap. We imagine God to be far too human and imperfect. The Trinity described in the Bible is explained, and Jesus as the embodiment of divine love. The thought forms that we constantly shape through our thinking has a most important influence, not only on this life on earth, but also for the time after. Man and his free will, a topic that has moved philosophers for centuries, is explained in an astonishingly simple and convincing way. Death is only birth into the ethereal world, a natural transition. This is just a small selection of the topics covered in the first 2 volumes. The explanations of the laws, which work in the soul spiritual as well as in the earthly, are of great use for the reader. Natural science has called the laws recognizable in matter natural laws, and has chosen them as the basis of its research. The result is a meanwhile very detailed understanding of material processes. In contrast, however, a frightening lack of knowledge prevails in the spiritual field. Today, we have deciphered the smallest cellular components of our body and our genetic material. But we are still speculating whether man consists only of the body or also an independent soul. We look back billions of years into the universe, but we do not know where our personality came from before birth and where it goes after death. The work In the Light of Truth provides information about exactly this and explains the laws of God or nature on all, especially in non-material areas.
In the knowledge of creation, which I have given in my message, and in the related explanation of all the laws automatically working in creation, which may also be called the laws of nature, the whole weaving of creation is displayed without a gap. It allows every process to be clearly recognized, and therewith the purpose of man's whole life. With unassailable logic, it also unfolds his whence and his whither, thus giving an answer to every question, provided man seriously seeks for it.
This statement was confirmed to me during the 40 years in which I've been involved with this work, in addition to my technically oriented professional activities. I found answers to all the questions that deeply moved me, but it often took years until I was convinced of the correctness of what I had read through experiences, inner consideration, and examination. In the course of time, a comprehensive worldview developed for me, which is still constantly expanding. The limiting factor in my search for the truth is my own capacity to absorb the brought, so comprehensive knowledge. The individual lectures of this work were written by Oskar Ernst Bernhardt, born in Bischofswerda in 1875, under the author's name Abd-ru-shin in the years 1923 to 1941. He published the first part of his lectures as his Grail message in 1926 as the first edition. In 1931, the second edition followed, which included further lectures. This second edition is often erroneously referred to on the internet as the original edition, original or also original version, which is, however, easily recognizable not. In the years until his death on Earth in 1941, Abd-ru-shin wrote further lectures and revised his complete works to the 3-volume edition last hand. Due to the turmoil of the war, this edition could only be published in 1949. Since then, it has been by far the most widely distributed. Due to the expiration of the copyrights in 2011, new editions of earlier editions and even new compilations of Abd-ru-shin's writings have been appearing for several years, which in my opinion can confuse especially new readers of his work. For me, there is no question that I read the last-hand edition in 3 volumes, which has been in print for over 70 years, and I also recommend it to you, dear viewers. The Grail message speaks to the individual, regardless of nationality or religious affiliation, and inspires them to spiritual independence. That is why this message brings the possibility of higher knowledge to all people, which promotes the necessary spiritual ascent of each individual.
Nor do I speak to churches and political parties, to fraternities, sect and societies, but only in all simplicity to man himself. Far be it from me to pull down what exists, for I am building up and completing the answers to questions as yet unsolved. Questions that must arise in everyone as soon as he thinks just a little. Only one basic condition is essential for every listener: earnest seeking for the truth. He should inwardly examine the words and let them come to life, but not heed the speaker. Otherwise he derives no benefit. All who do not strive to do this are simply wasting their time from the start.